Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Clara CFO Group channel. It is good to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about how to basically not get taxed on things that you shouldn't be taxed for. And that sounds a little bit silly, but I'm trying to help you preempt any potential amendments that you have to make to tax returns. So there's a couple things that have happened over the past year that has been confusing with the IRS guidance. So the IRS has said, yes, it's taxable, and then no, it's not taxable. So what we're seeing, and this is in practicality, is that CPAs and EAs, which are enrolled agents, and bookkeepers and tax preparers, and lots of people who are helping with tax preparation or actually filing taxes themselves, might get confused on what amounts coming in are taxable versus non-taxable. Or either that, or maybe they heard old guidance and they've been operating in that, and maybe they're not keeping up, so they might not know about some of these changes. Now, most informed CPAs and enrolled agents, anybody doing your taxes, are going to be up to date on these things. However, there's a wide range of people doing these services, and some of them have been staying up to date on everything, and then some of them have not. So what I'm trying to do is help prepare you so that when you're sending your documentation to your person who does your taxes, whether it's a CPA, an enrolled agent, or maybe just a trusted person in your life who's done taxes before, this is good information to be giving to them, okay? So what I want to help you do is avoid being accidentally taxed, because there are three things that we're going to talk about here. One is that the PPP forgivable amount and the money coming in when it first hits your bank account, that is not taxable income. So I just did a video on how to account for the PPP properly, and I want to make sure that that does not show up on your P&L as inadvertent taxable income. Okay, because if you just put it into revenue and you don't mark it to be any different, then you might get taxed on it. Okay, now the second thing I want to mention is the EIDL grant. So that is the amount up to $10,000 that you got from when you applied for the EIDL loan. You probably checked a box that said, yes, I'd like to receive some in advance. You could get up to $10,000. And then there's also been these, kind of re-ups in these special provision EIDL grants. Okay, so if it's an EIDL grant or an EIDL advance, those are also not taxable to you. The last thing is when you've received unemployment insurance, if you've received unemployment insurance, and a lot of our sole proprietors have been kind of taking advantage of PPP and unemployment at different points in time. If you received unemployment, or maybe somebody else in your household has received unemployment, there is a exemption of up to $10,200 of that unemployment insurance. If you've received unemployment benefits, up to $10,200 can be not taxable to you as an individual. Okay, so that's kind of high level, but let's talk about kind of some of the nitty gritty. Okay, so let's start talking about PPP. Okay, so when you get the PPP money, it's going to be recorded as a loan. And then once you get it forgiven, that's been the big question of like, how do we treat it? So again, go and reference that video that I did on the accounting for PPP. But when you close it out, when you get your forgiveness, that actually becomes income to you. So it will show up on your P&L, but the important part here is that you label it correctly to help you avoid being accidentally taxed by this. So when you do it, you're going to create a separate account for PPP, and you're going to label it. It's going to be other income, and you're going to label it as other income non-taxable PPP forgiveness. Okay, you're going to make it very specific. PPP forgiveness dash non-taxable. Just make it very clear, like put that non-taxable language and PPP in the accounting name. Exactly how you name it, that's up to you. It can go along with however else you like to name your accounts. But having non-taxable in the line item will help prevent you from getting accidentally taxed when it comes to your taxes. What you don't want to do is you do not want to lump in PPP income in with all of your other revenue from services or sales or whatever. You do not want that. You need to separate it out, okay? So create a separate account. Now, if you do not keep books, like if you don't have QuickBooks or anything, if you do not have an accounting system, this is a really good indicator that you might want to get one set up if you're running a business. I have a link to an offer for QuickBooks in the description box below. So if you want to get started with QuickBooks, I have a really good deal there, a whole year, 50% off. You won't really find that anywhere else. So take a look at that if you do not have yet a accounting system. I use QuickBooks and QuickBooks Online for pretty much all of my clients, and it's kind of my favorite tool at this point. So if you do not have that though, what you can do is just, I'm serious, write a note to the front of your accounting documentation or whatever your tax documentation when you send it to your CPA or you send it to your EA. Write a note on the very front and tell them which COVID stimulus items you got. Tell them, I got the PPP loan on May 1st. I got it forgiven on January 2nd, 2021. Here was the amount that I got forgiven, and this is not taxable to me. Just write it on a cover letter or something. Same with the EIDL Advance, okay? So the EIDL Advance, if it came into your account in 2020, it is not taxable in that year. If it came into your account in 2021, it is not taxable in that year. What I would say is do the very same thing. Create a new account in your accounting system and say EIDL Advance, non-taxable, and it's classified as other income, okay? So again, if you don't have an accounting system, write a note and put it on the front of your tax preparation package, whatever you give your tax preparer. Make sure you're very clear that these are COVID-related stimulus monies that you got, and tell them that EIDL Advance is non-taxable and PPP forgiveness amount is not taxable. This is, I mean, it seems silly. You would think, oh, everybody should know this, but I'm just trying to get you to cover your bases. What I do not want to hear is people saying, oh, my CPA thought my PPP was income and just, included it. Because a lot of us don't know taxes in well enough to review a tax return. That's why we pay somebody to do our taxes. We assume they're going to do it right. So this is a layer to help you make sure you do not get accidentally taxed. Because if you do not know how to properly review a tax return, you need to do the best you can to give the tax preparer the most information that you can. The last thing is, if you received unemployment insurance in 2020, there is an exemption of up to $10,200 where it is not taxable. Typically, unemployment insurance, when you receive unemployment payments, that is taxable income to you. You get a 1099-G, and in box 1, it shows you what that compensation is. I'm looking at the IRS website, and it says that the 1099-G box 1 is your unemployment compensation. So that's what we're talking about here, that you can get up to $10,200 of that in the year 2020, not taxed at this point. All right, so I hope that's helpful. What I do not want is I do not want anybody to come back and say, oh no, Hannah, I got taxed because of X, Y, or Z. But what I'm more worried about is that people might not even know that they are paying extra taxes on these things. So keep the communication up with your CPA or your EA or your tax preparer, and make sure that they are well informed about these COVID relief packages that you received. Okay? All right, well, I hope that's helpful. Put comments in the comment section below, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Oh, and if you can, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye.